Welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I wanted to do a tier ranking of fantasy shows and movies from no particular time period, and these are all just movies that I have seen, and yeah, I thought it would just be fun to rank them. So let's get to it. Pretty much every other movie he's done has been crap. He's badass. Chris Hemlock. Oh, but the movies are freaking garbage. So the listings that I have are all-time favorite. So these are going to be ones that I have watched multiple times or that I have bought the DVD and plan to rewatch in the future. These were just really great in my opinion. So yeah, they would be all-time favorites. The next ranking is going to be the really good category. These are also ones that I would probably watch again. I thought they were really well done and they were fun. The next is going to be I liked it. It wasn't great. It wasn't spectacular, but it was good. The next is it was just okay. I didn't hate it, but I probably wouldn't watch it again. And the last will be not good. And these are movies that I didn't like, maybe didn't even finish, and definitely would not recommend. Now you're going to notice that some of these movies are older, and I just kind of did a little search on Google just to find some maybe popular films or shows that I had seen and maybe, forgotten about, or, I just did a search, and these were some of the ones that came up, and I only added them if I had seen them. So the very first one is going to be Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Now, this is an older movie. I don't remember what year it came out, but it's definitely older. But it is one that I've watched several times. I think it's really fun. It's funny. It has some good historical elements to it. That's what they do. They go back in time and they meet all these historical figures, in case you're not familiar. And, this is Keanu Reeves, one of his earlier movies. And yeah, I loved it. So it was really good. Next, we have Coraline. So Coraline, I'm going to put in the I liked it category, mainly because I watched it and I did enjoy it, but I have only seen it that one time, and it wasn't one that I ever really, felt the need to go back to. So, yeah, I liked it. Okay, the next one we have here is The Dark Crystal. And I hated this. I know it's kind of a classic and a lot of people reference it and talk about it. I just thought it was really poorly made and boring. And yeah, definitely not something that I would recommend. The next is Dune, and this is actually the new movie, the not the original Dune, the remake, the one with Timothy Chalamet. And I have seen the original movie, and I thought that it was pretty ridiculous. I mean, I guess for the time and when it was made, it was good, it was decent. But having seen both, and I definitely think that the remake is just that much better. The effects, the acting, everything. It was just elevated to a whole nother degree. Actually, the sequel to this comes out in March, so I'm looking forward to that. So I'm going to put this in the really good category. The next one is a movie, and it's based on a game. So Dungeons and Dragons. This is Chris Pine, I think. I'm going to put this in the liked it category. I thought it was really fun. The acting was good. It was funny. It had a lot of adventure and quirkiness, and I really enjoyed it. I think I've watched it twice, and that was just because I had watched it on whatever platform at one time, and then I think it was on TV, and so I just put it on and watched it. So yeah, I would recommend it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It was certainly fun. The next movie is Edward Scissorhands, and I'm sorry, but this is definitely going in an all-time favorite. Number one, it's got Johnny Depp. I've always been a huge Johnny Depp fan. Love him. And this is just one of those, I think, classics that if you grew up in the 80s, you just, you held a special place in your heart for some of these 80 films. And while they are a bit ridiculous and weird, they're fun. I mean, who doesn't love a freaky guy with scissor hands? And just some of the things that they do in the movie, like the haircuts on the dogs and the people. I mean, yeah, it's a good time. Next, we have another classic film, The Goonies. So I'm not going to put this in all-time favorite. Yeah, I did. I liked it. It was good. And I've seen it many times, but mostly because they replay it on TV. And when there's nothing on TV and they replay the same crap over and over again, you have to return to some of these every now and then. The next one is Harry Potter. So if these are series, then I did just put the first one in the series on here. I liked it. I thought it was good. And I've seen them several times, but that's because, again, they just replay this stuff over and over again. But I thought the books were so much better than the movies. And while I do enjoy it, I know it's kind of a cult classic at this point. Yeah, it's good. Next, we have Hellboy. I'm going to put this in. It was okay. Yeah, it was just a little bit ridiculous for me. Next, I have King Arthur, and this is the one with, what's his name? The Sons of Anarchy guy. I can't think of his name. But honestly, I think he is the worst actor ever. I think he was good in Sons of Anarchy, but pretty much every other movie he's done has been crap. It's like he's that guy that only has the one role. Trying to put him, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So, but actually, for having said that, King Arthur is one of the better ones. I actually did like it, surprisingly enough. So I'll put that in. It was okay. And then we have Labyrinth. David Bowie. This is an all-time favorite. I mean, come on. You can't put this anywhere else. It's Labyrinth. It was so good. David Bowie as Jareth. Oh, he's badass. Next we have Life of Pi. I didn't like this. I mean, yeah, it had some cool special effects, but that was pretty much it. Otherwise, and I guess it has some meaning and themes, but no, didn't like it. Then we have the Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry, but this is going an all-time favorite. I think that these movies are really good. They're epic. So, I mean, yeah, who doesn't love Lord of the Rings? I don't know. Next, we have Neverending Story. This is easy, all-time favorite. I've seen this movie hundreds of times. It was one of my favorites as a kid. And if you've watched my genre tag, then you know that Falkor is the supernatural creature that I would love to have for myself. This big fluffy dog. Oh, so cute. Okay. Next we have Pan's Labyrinth. I thought this movie was really good. The special effects in it are top notch. It's creepy, and it's been a while since I've watched it, but I do remember that it really blew me away. Next we have Pirates of the Caribbean. So I'm going to put this in the really good category too. I think that Johnny Depp is really funny in these movies. I think that Orlando Bloom is great in his role. I think that the plots and characters are just really fun and really well done. It's kind of like an all ages flick because it doesn't matter how old you are, you can love this movie. Next we have Princess Bride. So, I want to say all-time favorite because it is just one of those movies that I've seen a million times and really just enjoyed it. I think that my favorite storyline part of the story is when they take him into the tree. He's not dead. He's only partially dead. That one. Yeah, that one's funny. Okay, next. This is one that I think is not as well known, but should be because it is kind of the twisted sequel to Wizard of Oz, and it was so good. This is gonna go in all-time fave. Return to Oz. This one has what is that girl's name? Farika, or no, what is her name? Like, I can't even think of it, but it's kind of the twisted, like, dark side of Wizard of Oz. I haven't seen this for years, so the details are a bit fuzzy, but I just remember it being so good. So good. Next we have Shrek. I mean, Shrek is an all-time fave. Come on. Who doesn't love a green ogre? I mean, I think I know this movie word for word. Yeah. Donkey and Shrek. Oh, the best. Next we have Thor. So I liked Thor. I thought it was good. Who doesn't like Chris Hemsworth? Oh, Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. Next we have Twilight. So I hate this movie. I like the books. I was in that phase of like YA reading, and I read all the books kind of like sometimes in one sitting. I was a Twilight fan, but the movies are freaking garbage. Come at me. They're garbage. I mean, the acting is especially, and you know, I like her now, but Kristen Stewart's acting in this movie was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for her and for me. Yeah, no. Just no. Next we have Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, this is a classic. I mean, enough said. Jessica Rabbit? Yeah. Then we have Willow. I know this is another classic that, you know, many people just love and return to. But I just thought it was okay. I don't know. It's not one of my favorites. Not sure why. It just isn't. Then we have The Wizard of Oz, and I'm going to put this in the really good category simply because I think that Return to Oz was so much better. I don't know. I think that I just like that dark, grisly, grimy aspect much better. Next, we have Discovery of Witches. I thought this show was great. I've read the books, I read the trilogy, and I really liked it. I thought it was good. I think the show, it nails it. I think that it follows the books pretty closely, and that the show, it was, I'm gonna say, really good. I loved it. Next, we have Dracula 2020. This is a 3-part series on Netflix, and it kind of follows Dracula's story when he gets on the ship Demeter on his way to England. I thought that this was really well done. It was good. I liked it. There's actually some really creepy scenes in here where what's his name? Oh gosh. His helper guy. Yeah. They did it, the cinematography or the makeup in this was really good. So next we have Game of Thrones. So I am going to put this in really good. I loved Game of Thrones. I thought that the series itself is great and epic, but I hated the ending. I kind of think that they just ruined it. They ruined the ending, which is pretty important, if you ask me. Next, we have Hemlock Grove. This is an older show. I think it was on Netflix, but I'm going to put it in liked it because it was really good. It's another one where there's like werewolves and these genetically modified people, all kinds of weird things happening. It was pretty good. So if you haven't seen that one, you should check it out. Next, we have Heroes. I think that Heroes was another one of those shows where it started out super strong and then it kind of faltered at the end. So I'm going to put it in liked it. Now, I think there's like 6 or 7 seasons. So it had a good run of like, the show is really good. Definitely worth a watch. Next, we have House of the Dragon. So this is the follow-up, I'm sure everybody knows, to Game of Thrones, or kind of the prequel series to Game of Thrones. And there's only 1 season so far, but I'm going to put this in like all-time favorite because I thought that it was just freaking magnificent. I mean, it just gives you a whole new perspective on some of these characters from Game of Thrones, which I really enjoy when they do that. Next, we have Leftovers. This show is on Apple Plus, I believe, and it's got Justin Theroux in it. And it is where kind of like 2% of the population just kind of vanishes. And so this is like kind of the aftermath, people dealing with grief and kind of mayhem going on. But there are some like magical realism, fantastical elements to it. I really like this show. I thought that the acting in it was really good. It was great. Next, we have Lost, and this is another kind of cult classic, I feel like. Everybody kind of knows what this show is, and I'm going to put this one in liked it. Again, I feel like the ending kind of ruined it for me, but it was pretty good. Next, we have Lock and Key. This is based on the comic books, I believe, done by Joe Hill, Stephen King's son. And this was a Netflix show. I've only watched the first season. Disclaimer. I thought that this was good. I liked it. It's one of those too. It's kind of family friendly, magical realism kind of show. It's good. Next we have What is this? Oh, The Mandalorian. Yeah, The Mandalorian. I'm going to put this in really good. Simply because of Baby Yoda. I mean, call me a cliche. I loved Baby Yoda. Okay, then we have Mayfair Witches. So this show is based off of the Anne Rice series, The Mayfair Witches. I think the first book is called. What the heck was the first book called? Anyway, I think the show was just okay. I don't know. I'm not really sure where it went wrong. I just feel like it didn't. It was so far off from the book in some aspects that it just. I don't know. I didn't like it that much. I thought it was lacking. Next, we have Outlander. So I watched the first 2 or 3 seasons of this, and I'm just going to say I liked it. I liked the books better. I feel like they did a good job at the character choosing the actors and things like that, but I feel like sometimes it's just hard to recreate that chemistry that feels so natural in the book. And not that it didn't. I mean, they were good. I just felt like it was more in the book. It was more. Next, we have Penny Dreadful. Now, I thought that this was really good. It's dark. And it's based off of like the Penny Dreadfuls from back in the early 1900s, I think. Supernaturally, yeah, it was good. Next, we have Station 11. I'm going to put it in liked it. I thought it was good. I thought they did a good job kind of reimagining the book. There were some aspects to it that I fell a little flat for me. So yeah, I liked it. Next, we have Supernatural. Oh, really good. I think that it's really good. I mean, there's so many seasons. What, 12, 13? I don't even know. But who doesn't love Supernatural? I mean, it's kind of reminiscent of the X-Files, right? Where you just have all these episodes and each episode is its own storyline that all kind of build into this greater storyline. Yeah, that's good. Stranger Things. I mean, I'm going to put this one in really good too. I feel like the middle seasons kind of fell a little bit flat, but it really picked up here at the end. And it's got that 80s vibe, which I love. Yeah. I think that's going to be a classic one down the road. Next, we have True Blood. I'm going to put this in really good. This is another one where I feel like the last season or 2 were just garbage. I don't know if you've read the books. I did, and they veered so far away from what the books did. They just took it down this really bizarre path, and I could not get into it. I almost stopped watching it. Next, we have Vampire Diaries, and I love the Vampire Diaries. Call me a basic B, but I've rewatched this series probably 6 times. Actually, I'm rewatching it right now. When I get on the treadmill or have time to kill, I watch the Vampire Diaries. I don't know, I think it's the chemistry between the characters, the progression of the conflicts, just like that continued intensification. It just really so good. Now, I can say that once Elena turns, she gets a little bit whiny for me. And I would say that's probably my biggest, down negative on this show. But, it's great. And then we have, what is this? Oh, this is The Sandman that was on Netflix. I liked this. I'm going to put it in I liked it. It was good. And it is where there's this Sandman who kind of controls your dreams, and all these bad things start happening, and it's very kind of weird, ethereal, surreal. It was good. I liked it. Worth a watch. Then we have The Stand, and this is actually the newer version of The Stand, the remake, the one with Alexander Skarsgård. I thought this was really good. I mean, I'm a huge Stephen King fan, and The Stand is one of my favorite books. And I watched the original series as well, which was good. But this one, I think, just elevated it, and it was that much better. And next we have The Umbrella Academy. I liked it. It was okay. I don't know that I would watch it again, but it was different. Then we have The Originals, which was, the kind of sequel or spin-off of The Vampire Diaries, and I thought I liked it. I didn't finish watching it. I watched the first couple of seasons and then I didn't continue on. Next we have The Witcher. I'm putting this in really good. I think definitely the first 2 seasons are the best. It fell off at the 3rd season, and when Henry Cavill stopped, I'm not watching it anymore. Because to me, he is The Witcher. I mean, he nailed this role. The voice, the facial expressions. I mean, he killed it. And I know he chose to leave the show, but I just not interested. And the very last one is The Invisible Man. This is a movie, and I watched this recently, and I thought it was really good. I thought that it was creepy as hell. And while she's not my favorite actress, I think that she did so good in this movie. I don't know, just pulling off that whole I don't know. It was impressive. I liked it. So yeah. So those are how I rank these, and I'm sure that many people would disagree with me over some of them, but please feel free to leave your comments down below, and also give me any suggestions of any shows that I should watch or movies that I need to see. I'm always looking for my next favorite show. So like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more. I post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. See you again soon.